people in the 21st century can be so backward in their thinking continues to amaze me, and I'm sure it does amaze and stun a lot of forward-thinking people. This woman is doing the right thing. Why are you stopping her from doing the right thing? The positives that this woman stood for, and a lot of women stand for today, and men as well, has a knock-on effect on those around us, on our families, on our children, our grandchildren, our uncles, our aunts, our moms and dads. This was a very angry man, a man whose wife had an affair with a very young man, and Chris Rock, a man who I admire and a man who I respect, was taking a jibe at Will Smith. They say don't punch a man, is that the saying, when he's down? I think that Will Smith could have handled this differently. He could have called him aside privately and had a chat with him later on, but this was a man who was in a lot of pain, a lot of emotional and psychological pain. This is Africa, the cradle of mankind's birth, where powerful kingdoms arose with stories of worth. A youth-filled land, the youngest population, with diamonds and cocoa from its fertile foundation, exemplary leaders, their legacy told. Nkrumah, Mandela, their spirits bold. From Johnson Sirleaf's Liberia, where freedom lies, and her first female leader, so wise. Let courage and dreams unite as one for a brighter tomorrow where greatness is spun. In this beautiful, colorful, and friendly domain, greatness awaits, where hopes shall not wane, where tales of triumph weave a tapestry. Welcome to Today in African History. Pictured here is Wangari Maathai, who was born on the 1st of April 1940 in Nyeri, Kenya. Sadly, she passed on this day, September 25th, in the year 2011 in Nairobi, Kenya. She was a Kenyan politician and environmental activist who was awarded the 2004 Nobel Prize for Peace, becoming the first Black African woman to win a Nobel Prize. Her work was often considered both unwelcome and subversive in her own country, where her outspokenness constituted stepping far outside traditional gender roles. While working with the National Council of Women in Kenya, Maathai developed the idea that village women could improve the environment by planting trees to provide a fuel source and to slow the process of deforestation and desertification. The Green Belt Movement, an organization she founded in 1977, had by the early 21st century planted some 30 million trees. Wow! Leaders of the Green Belt Movement established the Pan-African Green Belt Network in 1986 in order to educate world leaders about conservation and environmental improvement. As a result of the movement's activism, similar initiatives were begun in other African countries, including Tanzania, Ethiopia, and Zimbabwe. In addition to her conservation work, Maathai was also an advocate for human rights. AIDS prevention and women's issues, and she frequently represented these concerns at meetings of the United Nations General Assembly. She was elected to Kenya's National Assembly in 2002 with 98% of the vote, and in 2003 she was appointed Assistant Minister of Environment, Natural Resources and Wildlife. When she won the Nobel Prize in 2004, the committee commended her holistic approach to sustainable development that enhances democracy, human rights, and women's rights in particular. So, Wangari Maathai, who sadly passed on this day, September 25, 2011, a Kenyan politician and environmental activist. She was awarded the 2004 Nobel Prize for Peace, becoming the first Black African woman to win a Nobel Prize. Now, take note that a lot of people in her country felt that she was stepping far aside traditional gender roles. That is so typical of some people, some of our African brothers and sisters, sadly, that a lot of women band against their fellow woman, a woman who's trying to do good, trying to do right for the environment, for women, that people are saying that she has stepped aside, stepped away from her traditional roles as a woman. That people in the 21st century can be so backward in their thinking continues to amaze me, and I'm sure it does amaze and stun a lot of forward-thinking people. This woman is doing the right thing. Why are you stopping her from doing the right thing? If there's no one else to do what she's doing, why not allow her to do what she's doing? We can become so short-sighted that we don't realize, most of us I think, that when someone stands up for the rights of other people, she's not just standing up for the rights of these other people. The positives that this woman stood for, and a lot of women stand for today, and men as well, has a knock-on effect on those around us, on our families, on our children, our grandchildren, our uncles, our aunts, our moms and dads. She was doing something positive for the environment, and yet people were kicking against it, especially her own people. How sad is that? But thankfully, she got the Nobel Peace Prize in 2004. She did well in the short life that she had. She was born in 1940 and died in 2011. She died 12 years ago. She was quite young, but she impacted the world and impacted Africa positively. So, Wangari Maathai, Kenyan environmental activist and politician who sadly passed on this day. But before she did that, she made a huge impact on the world and Africa in particular. Willard Carroll Smith II, born on this day, September 25th, the year was 1968. He is an American actor, film producer, and rapper. Of course, his more commonly known name is Will Smith. He has received multiple accolades, including an Academy Award, a BAFTA Award, and 4 Grammy Awards. As of 2023, his films have grossed over $9.3, wait for this, billion globally, making him one of Hollywood's most bankable stars. Smith began his acting career starring as a fictionalized version of himself on the NBC sitcom The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which ran from 1990 to 1996. He first gained recognition as part of the hip-hop duo with DJ Jazzy Jeff, with whom he released 5 studio albums and the US Billboard Hot 100 Top 20 singles, Parents Just Don't Understand, A Nightmare on My Street, Summertime, Ring My Bell, and Boom Shake the Room from 1984 to 1994. He released the solo albums Big Billy Star in 1997, Millennium in 1999, Born to Reign in 2002, and Lost and Found in 2005, which contained the US #1 singles Getting Jiggy With It and Wild Wild West. For his portrayal of Richard Williams in the biographical sports drama King Richard in 2021, Will won the Academy Award, BAFTA Award, Golden Globe Award, and Screen Actors Guild Award for Best Actor at the 2022 Academy Awards. I'm sure you guys are waiting for this. Shortly before winning, Smith faced public backlash for slapping and shouting at Oscar presenter Chris Rock after Rock made an unscripted joke referencing Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. Smith subsequently resigned from the Academy and was banned from attending all Academy functions, including the Oscars, for 10 years. Now guys, I don't know what you think about what happened at the Oscars last year, 2022. This was a very angry man, a man whose wife had had an affair with a very young man, and Chris Rock, a man who I admire and a man who I respect, was taking a jibe at Will Smith. They say don't punch a man, is that the saying, when he's down? These are two men that I admire, two of my favorite black men on earth today. Very talented men. It was sad to see them, at this point in their lives. I think that Will Smith could have handled this differently. He could have called him aside privately and had a chat with him later on, but this was a man who was in a lot of pain, a lot of emotional and psychological pain. So, what happened. Again, this channel is to highlight the good, the bad, and the ugly. In the case of Will Smith, we've seen his good sides, we've seen his bad sides, and we've seen his ugly sides. So hopefully we have learned a lesson from what happened in 2022. So that's it for Will Smith for today. It's his birthday. Will Smith is 56 years old. That is absolutely mind-boggling. 55, I beg your pardon. Will Smith is 55 years old today. So the talented Will Smith from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the rapper with DJ Jazzy Jeff and all his songs and movies, he has come a very long way. Will Smith has achieved fame in his relatively short life. He's only 55 and he is a name that is familiar to billions of people worldwide. That's Will Smith for you. Next, last but not least, another very successful black man, Scottie Pippen. He is a retired American basketball player who played along with Michael Jordan on the team Chicago Bulls. He was born on this day, September 25th, 1965, in Hamburg, Arkansas, to Ethel and Preston Pippen. His mother and father stood at 6 feet and 6 feet 1 inch respectively, and Pippen was the youngest as well as the tallest of 12 children. He played on his high school basketball team at the point guard position, where he led his team to state playoffs and won the all-conference honors. However, he was not offered any college scholarships, as at that time he was only 6 feet 1 inch in height and weighed 150 pounds, which was not impressive by basketball players' standards. Interesting. 6 feet 1, 150 pounds, not impressive. Scottie Pippen has numerous awards and accolades to his name, including being named as one of the 50 greatest players in NBA history, being named to the NBA All-Defensive First Team 8 consecutive times and the All-NBA First Team 3 times in his career. He was a 7-time NBA All-Star player and was named the NBA All-Star Game's Most Valuable Player in 1994. He was also inducted into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame twice, once for his individual career and also as a member of the U.S. Olympic Dream Team. He was named NBA Basketball Male Athlete of the Year in 1996 and is the only person in NBA history to have twice had the honor of winning the NBA title and Olympic gold medal in the same year, that is 1992 and 1996. After Pippen retired from the NBA, the Chicago Bulls retired his jersey, number 33, and he is one of only 4 players to have gotten this honor. After quitting the NBA, he briefly returned to professional basketball, playing for Swedish and Finnish leagues. He now works as a sports analyst for television channels such as ESPN and ABC. He has been married twice, first to Karen McCollum and later to Larsa Yunan, who is his current spouse. So, Scottie Pippen, retired American basketball player born on this day in 1965 in Hamburg, Arkansas, to Ethel and Preston Pippen. That's it for Today in African History. Thanks for joining us. If you're here for the first time and you like what we're doing here, do like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notification bell so that you are notified whenever a new video drops. If you're a returning visitor and you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do subscribe so that our young fledgling channel can be spread out to other like-minded people. Let's all grow together. Let's talk about our history as Africans and what we can do as African peoples all over the world to grow together, to make the best of our lives as Africans. Thanks for dropping by. See you tomorrow. Hasta la vista.